Welcome to the Nightcap. It's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and is Mercury in retrograde? Ooh, baby, we throw that around all the time, but what exactly does it mean? Does it affect the way you move, your mood, all those things? Well, I've got an astrologer here to discuss. Plus, what exactly is a birth chart? How do you figure it out? What's my moon rising, my sun setting? I don't know. We're gonna find out today. And I've got Stacy B, who's also curious, and the astrologer ready. So, let's get into it.
Yeah, what's up for a nightcap? Chill, you know, kick back.
All right, let's dive into astrology, shall we? I've got my friend Stacy B back in the building, and you're curious about all this.
Oh my gosh.
Before the show, we were already talking about how Mercury's in retrograde, and you're like, hold up, I need to know my info.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got the expert here, a Houston-based astrologer,
Yes.
Jaleesa Danielle.
How are y'all? I'm excited to talk about this because I used to get told, you know, I'm a crazy star girl. And now that it's an open conversation, I'm really excited to talk about it.
You're like, I am
the
a crazy
public.
star girl, and I
Yeah.
know my and you want to know it too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with Mercury in retrograde, because it's
Yeah.
what I hear all the time when something bad happens to someone, they're like, Mercury's in retrograde, or Mercury must be in retrograde. What exactly does that mean, and can we be falling back on it as often as we do?
Okay, so essentially, and to put it in like the most basic terms, Mercury is the sign of communication in astrology. And so it is associated with traveling, because if you look in a birth chart, it does rule over the house of traveling. And so a lot of times people can have miscommunication in actual like talking to people, texting, but also actually moving, driving somewhere. Mishaps like I had on the way over here. And so getting like dates wrong, things confused. And so usually it's a time where people need to kind of double check over everything, documents, transactions and stuff like that. But it doesn't affect everyone the same. You have to actually look at your natal birth chart, but I was born with it. So it's just my life. It's a little bit chaotic.
You're like, Mercury's in retrograde, I am screwed.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is the communication that gets affected.
Yes.
Ooh, baby.
Communication, traveling, yeah, just like that's not what I meant, you know, kind of thing. So
Okay, let's talk about Zodiac in general.
okay.
How does that affect our relationship with other people?
Okay.
Does it affect our relationship with other people?
I would say yes if you really dive deep into astrology. I know that with astrology now, like mainstream, it's very like cutesy, pop culture-y, like I'm a Virgo, I'm an Aquarius, and people don't understand the complexity of a birth chart and why two people really don't get along. It's a lot deeper than just the sun sign. But essentially, if we're going to start with the basic sun sign thing, each sign is a different element, and there are more compatible elements, and that's why some people do say, "Oh, a Gemini. I don't like Geminis," and because there is a certain energy in you that's just like repelling those kind of things. So it isn't, you know, you shouldn't dismiss somebody off of the sun sign, but there is something in you that internally is like,
Oh, because
there's something that bothers me
side-eyeing
about
the Geminis.
Yeah.
I'm always, if I meet a
Everybody-
Gemini
Married to a
man,
Gemini, okay?
Everybody
and we get
always
along
talks
just
about it.
great. We get along just great.
There's always Gemini slander.
What about in the bedroom?
You can look at that too.
Oh.
Your Venus and your Mars sign.
could you
are-
tell me? Could you tell me who I'm compatible with? So
I mean,
can know what to look for?
if I look at your chart, I could. Yes.
Are
I
you
wanna know.
down to
Yeah.
put together your chart for
Yeah.
her? And are you
You
down
want
to
me to-
look
Yeah,
at
I
it
want
and
you to tell
interpret
me.
it?
I need to know who I'm single.
Okay.
So I need to know who I need to look for because I don't have time
Is that
to
something
waste.
that, because you have plenty of clients who come to you for readings.
Yeah.
Is that something that people come to you for and that you can help with?
Yes, but I think they look at it more of like, tell me who's the one, and it's a lot deeper than that.
Oh, I'm too old for that. Tell me who's the one.
Well, it's more of.
Tell me. I don't have time for these Houston streets.
I think it's more than I think you'll naturally be aligned with who you're supposed to be aligned with, and you learn who they are natally, and that's how it works. It's not so much like I'm gonna pick you
Yeah.
because you're a Gemini.
Superficially, yeah.
It's a lot deeper than that. Yeah.
What should people be considering beyond like, oh, Gemini, Taurus, oh,
Okay.
you know.
Well, as far as like, let's say emotionally, your moon sign is the emotional sign.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times too, the way that people express themselves, like you don't care about these things. Why don't you feel the way that I do about them? I noticed that you and I actually have the same moon sign.
Which one is it?
Sagittarius moon. So
Oh, look at this,
Sagittarius,
spoiler alert.
do you travel a lot?
love to travel.
Okay, so I love to travel too. Like I'm always like I can't sit still. I'm ready to go. So Sagittarius is all about freedom and exploration and trying new things. I like to go to new restaurants. I like to do all those things. But it's also a masculine sign. So masculine signs are more logical in nature. And so I have come across to people as like, oh, you don't care. Why don't you care? But it's a fire sign. So it's very impulsive, impatient. It's like, what are the facts? You know, that's
Probably
how.
true. But that's why I wear dresses all the time too.
Why?
To cutesy up my masculine energy.
Do you feel like you have like masculine type of energy? Like, no.
No, but I just know like women sometimes like when we know what we want and stuff,
Yeah, it comes off as
people
aggressive.
assume that
Yeah.
it's like that, but
And it is the sign of the teacher, the preacher. So sometimes you get on your soapbox when you have Sagittarius energy, and people will be like, okay, we get it. Like you don't got to keep going. I was an actual teacher for many, many years. So my kids would be like, okay, miss, like I get it. But that is Sagittarius energy. So that too, your Mercury sign as well. That's your communication sign.
okay.
So that's another thing with
So I have Mercury in me too?
I didn't see your.
No, no. All right,
No.
let's get the birth chart going. We're gonna give it to you
Yeah.
during the break, and then
Okay.
you'll analyze.
Okay.
Ooh, baby, we diving into birth charts. You stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been discussing astrology here on the show. We've got Stacy B, who is as curious as me. And we've got our expert astrologer, Jaleesa Danielle. Yes. All right, during the break, Stacy B filled out her birth chart, gave it to you. What can you tell us based on that chart? Obviously, nothing in depth. We don't have that kind of time.
Yeah. So she was asking about the lottery. A lot of people say, am I going to win the lottery? So I did look at one of the houses in astrology, the second house, which is the money dealing. Do you spend money like very quickly? Like
No.
just.
No, I'm not impulsive.
Oh.
I'm cheap as hell.
Are you? Are you frugal?
Yeah. The only thing I spend money on is like food and travel.
So the Sagittarius I was saying earlier about freedom, exploration, just always wanting to try something new. Well, you do have Mars there, which is the planet of like, a lot of high energy, and then usually when people have it in the second house, several people who do, they just like they spend it like spend it like crazy or just very impulsively.
Now, situationally though, every once in a while, probably like on my birthday, I might ball out.
Yeah.
For no reason. Just
It's-
swipe it.
No,
It's Virgo season.
Love,
Swipe it.
love yourself. So I probably do it 4 times a year.
Okay.
Has your love life been a very colorful one?
How would you describe your love life?
I don't know if I have words for that. Yeah, I can't wait for love. I just don't like to waste my time on things that's not love-like.
Yeah. You say you're born on the 6th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the 6th is Venus. So in numerology, each number is associated with a different planet. So usually people who are born on the 6th day do have kids or they want a family. So that's what I was asking. You obviously have kids, but do you love? Some people, they don't,
So I'm what kind of dater am I?
Well, the 6th is the house of the day-to-day routine, the health. That's your emotional sign too. So, you have to, for people who have moon in the 6th house, they have to love what they're doing in order for them to do it.
She ain't lying.
Some people, that's
She ain't lying?
Yeah, your emotions have to be tied to it.
I gotta 100% believe in it.
Yeah.
And like it for me to do it.
Yeah. And some people can go to work and just kind of suck it up and just be there and then be there for years and they hate it. But for people who have moon there, because it's wherever your moon is, that's where your emotions are connected to. So it's health, your day-to-day routine, those kind of things too can be seen through there too. So you have to love what you do.
Okay.
And then you do have a placement in the 3rd house, which is the house of short distance traveling. So that's what I was asking about traveling, because your sun is there, your soul is there. So it
Yeah.
could be like, here to Austin, like really short trips. Do you do a lot of short distance traveling?
Yeah, kind of. I go home to visit my family often. So
Yeah.
And then overseas travel.
yeah. I can't tell you where.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We can't
That's the
be letting the people know.
Sagittarius in you that wants to go all around the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so about that lottery thing.
All right, so when you're looking at a birth chart, specifically hers, like what's the breakdown? What are you looking for exactly?
Well,
you keep talking about houses, like how many houses are there?
so when you do look at a birth chart, it is divided up into 12 different houses, what are called houses, or different sections or different areas of life. Now, of course, it does take me a really long time to actually study it. I got 30 seconds to kind of look at something really quick,
Yeah.
but essentially it does take a while for me to actually go really, really deep and see what's going on. But each area of the birth chart might have some planets in there, and then that'll affect that area of life. That's why some people care about some things more than others. Like some people are very devoted to their children, very devoted to their work, very devoted to, you know, wanting to travel or their career or something like that. So again, it's like when you learn the chart, you learn that you can't make somebody care about something where their energy is not lying. So
What?
yeah.
Woo. All right, well, I hope you care about the Nightcap, baby, and that you are curious about astrology. So you stay through the commercial break and come on back. All right, we'll be right here waiting for you. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been having a wonderful discussion about the Zodiac and astrology with Stacy B and Jaleesa Danielle. We just went through your birth chart. I know you want to know a lot more, but I want her to go through mine. So
I feel like I need some sage. I need to save my life.
do I need to sage my life?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I wanted, because I took a look at your moon sign. So your moon sign is in Taurus, and Taurus is known for that. It rules the second house of astrology, which is all about like wealth. It's all about luxury, nice things. Taurus rules over the 5 senses. So Taurus energy likes the finer things in life. They don't settle for anything less. They like to, you know, they're like money driven or, you know, wealth driven. And so the earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn and Taurus energy, not just the sun sign. It's like if you have all those placements, you can be somebody who's more focused on those things, which a lot of times when women have earth placements, they are seen as gold diggers. But they're not gold diggers. They are people who need tangible material things. Taurus also loves food. They really like to eat a lot. That's something that I learned when I was, you know, doing personal training with people, because in my head, because how I love fitness, I was like, why doesn't everyone love it like this? Why can't everybody just eat like this? But when you look at a birth chart, you see who likes to overindulge and who cannot, you know, hold it, and each sign has a different level of metabolism. I mean, it goes very, very
Well,
deep.
I'm like thinking, I don't want to negate it, right? So obviously I chase wealth. I'm not a gold digger by any means. My car is 11 years old and the hubcap is broken and it's creaking in ways that it shouldn't, you know. So I'm not really driven like that by money. Do I love to eat? Absolutely.
We love fine dining.
No, wait,
tangible. What was the
like
word?
those Instagrammable places, like the restaurants, the nice things. So like I said, your moon's, I mean, it's much more complex than just saying one
You're
thing.
giving
But
me, you could probably get
Yeah.
to the nectar of it if you had more time with it. Anything else you
But
can
your
tell
moon
me.
is in the 11th house. Are you like the mom of the group?
I am definitely the peacemaker. La pipa de la paz is what they call me.
Like-
Everyone comes to me. I am the nurturer, the listener.
Yeah, your moon, your emotional is in the house of friends, social networks, large organizations. So you can be seen as that person who like is the mom or takes care of everybody.
Yeah.
So you the central nervous system.
Yes. When I'm not involved, it's chaos.
Yeah.
They call me. I am people's person, which can be a lot as an empath.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Would you say you're good at like finding things out, investigating?
Don't do me any wrong, baby. I'm gonna find it out for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I'm one of those.
I would say with
They also call me for that.
okay, with like your kids, your relationships, those are you can't lie to me in that area.
Yes. For me, I always tell everyone in my house, honesty is the best policy. I don't care if it's the worst thing you've ever done. Like, it hurts a lot more for you to lie to me. Because if I find out, baby.
Yeah. I did see you have scorpionic energy there. So Scorpio is associated with like digging for truth, and you know, it can be tied to jealousy, obsession, you know, those things like that too. But it is a sign known for, you know, I'm gonna find out who's texting us, you know, kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's texting us?
Us. You and me.
On our phone.
Yeah. So your rising sign, your rising sign in astrology essentially is like that first impression that you give off to people. So you are water energy. I'm a water rising too. People can just like confide in you, but you have the motherly confiding in, and I have like I need to tell you my secrets and deep dark secrets, and I don't want anybody to know this. So that is Cancer is the mother of the zodiac.
Yes, I can really
You
get
do
people
have
to
good
open
energy.
up. I really do. Like our photographer Jake is always like, "How do you get people to just
Yeah, and some people don't. I think with astrology, people, you know, the naysayers. I don't know if you want to. You know,
Yeah, I do. Like for people at home who are like, no, this is a crock. Ain't no way that the planets and the solar system is affecting who I am and how I move. There's no way that the time of day on whatever date and the location that I was born affects who I am today. What do you say to that?
Every person who talks like that has never gotten their birth chart read. Because if you've gotten it read, and by somebody who actually knows how to read it, not just hearing one thing like, oh, Libra, oh, you love love. Not every Libra is like that. So you have to look a lot deeper. So start there. And that's what I ask people, have you gotten your birth chart read? They say no. I say, well, then this conversation is over because you don't know what it is. You have never explored that deep. But also it's the simplest things, like when you go outside in the sun, you feel different than when it's dark and gloomy. The sun energy literally does something to you. So it's just the small things like that. Nature does change people's mood. But people with this popular sun sign astrology, it's very like cutesy, and so they hear one thing and then they're like, I don't act like that. And then so it's all fake. It's like your sun, your moon, your all that
plays a
into,
factor.
yeah, so all goes into it. You know, learning astrology, I now look at people like with birth charts over their heads. You know, there's nothing I haven't heard, seen. There's no judgment anymore. I used to be very Judge Judy. I used to be, because I told you I was in the church. I was very like, I can't believe y'all not here on Sunday. You know, I can't believe you. But now, it don't matter what you've told me you've done. It's just like, oh, because it's in the chart already.
Yeah.
She said it's in the chart.
Do we go to the chart? Do we tell me who I'm compatible with?
All right, listen, y'all figure out who Stacy's compatible with. We're going to figure it out.
Do we figure that out?
We're going to figure it out.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
Is there a way?
You can look at the type of energy that you gravitate towards, yes.
Okay.
Not like because no one's going to match every single thing.
Like, are you able to look at that chart and figure it out? Oh, okay. All right, listen, we're going to figure
figure out
out
my
who
next
is
husband.
compatible with Stacy coming up next. So you stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We are about to find out Stacy B's what she attracts, what she's looking for. Thanks to her birth chart, we got Jaleesa Danielle.
Let me be on my best
All
appearance
right.
for this.
So I did, and before I begin, I did want to say, because you took a guess at your time that you're born, so that does depend on the accuracy of, so you need to be down to the minute. So it's an estimate, so that's why I'm kind of like looking at what time you think you were born, but I'm going off this time. So whenever it comes to, let's say, compatibility, or more of like the sexual compatibility aspect, the woman looks at her Mars sign usually when, like, I'm gonna say like before the age of 30. So usually when women have a Mars and a fire sign, they can be attracted to like a more athletic type of man, or somebody who's very like high energy. Leo is known for being like very playful, childish. So
That's about right.
yeah, so you do look at those type of things, and then of course the older you get, it does kind of change, and you look towards other signs, and just it's a little bit more complex.
But what you gravitate towards, is that what is compatible with you?
Okay, you know how like women sometimes they get attracted to like the bad boy at 1st, and then they kind of get rid of that bad boy because they need to be mature. You know, that the Mars is like the bad boy, so that's why you tend to gravitate towards the Mars. And then usually you'll tend to gravitate towards with would you say I'm gonna say like older men, or like more mature, or usually attract people who are a lot more mature than you? They don't have to be necessarily older.
Yeah,
but
I
their
don't like.
mindset
I'm not
maybe.
attracted to older men, but I like you to have some common sense.
Yeah.
That's a basic necessity.
Yeah.
But you know what? I do like people, like guys that are smarter than me and something, like, not to sound crazy, but like, I like to have like engaging conversations and stuff. So like,
You do have
That's
Libra
correct.
too. So Libra is the sign of communication, along with Aquarius and Gemini. But with people who have air signs, they need the intellectual the stimulation. Some people can just have the trophy wife and you don't got to talk, and some people like after 2 minutes of conversation, you're like, oh my gosh, you have no brain.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter the cars, the money, nothing.
I check out real quick.
Yeah.
Same.
That's why it's hard out here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's why we need help. That's why we need your help out
Yep.
here.
Well, listen, we need Jaleesa.
So that's my second question. So now I need to ask, what house is your moon in?
I mean, you should always start with do you have spiritual compatibility? Are you into astrology?
Yeah.
And if they think it's a crazy thing, then you got to go, because you're going to essentially know why you're aligned the way that you are.
Okay.
And if you tell somebody, I want to go to a fancy restaurant because I got a Taurus moon, like this Taurus energy, that it just is. And so you can't.
Girl, you got to figure this out, but you
Yeah,
better
that's
find
it.
out the exact time you were
print
born.
this
All right,
chart
thanks
out.
for coming on, Stacy, and volunteering to share
Yeah.
your birth chart. And thank you, Jaleesa, for
of
coming on
course.
and giving us the truth behind astrology. All right, thanks to you for coming and watching all about astrology. Go get that birth chart if you're curious. We ain't crazy, baby. We know what we're talking about. We'll see you guys next time.